Today, I want to share some Raid Shadow Legend tips, or more so some mistakes that a lot of players end up making, me included, that will mess up your account, slow down your progress, and are really easy to overlook. And once you understand these mistakes and no-goes, you're going to make sure that your account progresses a lot smoother and you don't run into any situations where you're out of resources or you don't know how to progress, because these mistakes really cost you a lot down the line. Now, number one mistake today is something that I did not really knowing about re-rolling gear. I'll show the clip on screen here. A quad roll on defense percent with critical rate gloves. But I kind of want to rework this thing. I'm really hoping for a re-roll into critical damage percent and attack percent. Chances of that? Astronomically slim. Let's see what happens. Hopefully this doesn't go too badly and we can still use this piece of gear. Flat HP. So essentially what I did is I found one piece of gear that I like. It had good rolls on it, but I realized that I wanted to try and get better stats. Well, the chances of you re-rolling something and getting something better if it already has a decent stat is pretty low. The chances of it rolling into something worse is pretty high. So if you have some decent enough stats on a multi-roll, definitely don't re-roll it. You're just going to ruin the item and you won't be able to re-roll it again. That is a very important step to consider. If the stats look decent enough, they're not going to get better by re-rolling. Unless you get extremely lucky, they're probably just going to become worse and you have to throw that item in the trash. Now, I didn't actually make this mistake, but you might have. You might not have used a beginner link when starting your account. If you do that, you'll get a massive boost and it will completely elevate your account. When I used my beginner link, I got Alice the Wanderer and Sun Wukong. And I still use these champions all the time. In fact, Alice the Wanderer is one of my best champions on my account. So if you don't use a beginner link, you're just going to slow down your progress. And right now, you can get all of these champions when using my beginner link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Now, the next tip is, well, mistake that I made is not doing enough arena. It seems kind of tiring to constantly play this game mode, but it is the number one bottleneck on progressing your account. Put it into perspective, I realized that a couple months ago that I haven't played enough arena, and now I am 235 days into my account, and I've only just got 10 out of 10 on one arena Great Hall affinity bonus, which means I can finally get Arbiter, but that took way longer than it needed to. And it's not just about getting Arbiter. I can get Arbiter and then start the Remantu missions, get another Sacred, get more Legendary Skill Tomes, and then finally work towards getting Marius. By slowing down your arena progress because you just don't put enough games into arena every time you log in to play, you're going to slow down your account massively. Like, I should have done this a long time ago, and it slowed down my account progress by about 2 months, to be honest. The next biggest mistake is opening shards for no reason. And I mean, there isn't really no reason to it, to be honest. But for example, I've got 3 sacred shards right now, and there's a progressive chance to get Donatello. Now, if I didn't have Donatello, I might be tempted to open the shard and see if we get lucky. But, you know, whether or not you get lucky or not isn't really the issue here. If you're opening shards not during a champion chase or a summon rush, you're just screwing yourself over for when there is one of those events. If you want to get your hands on a specific champion, for example, maybe in the future there'll be a Leonardo event, and you might need your shards then stockpiled up to complete the summon rush or champion chase. You use all of your shards all over the place, you're not going to have enough for when the event comes around. Save your shards and only open them when there are events for them, and those events are something that you want to take part in, because it's the number one way to mess up fusions, mess up unlocking new champions, and it will really slow down your progress. So as tempting as it can be to go in and open all your shards whenever you get them, hold on, because that will really help you to progress your account massively. In fact, most of Raid Shadow Legends is just about saving your resources. Right now, I'm doing exactly that. And this brings me into my next mistake. I for a long time would just use all my resources every day, and then when an event came round, I wasn't prepared. The best way you can do this is sometimes just skip events. But skipping events, but still logging in daily and getting your quests done and building up a nice stockpile of gems, energy, silver, shards, soul stones, right? You can build up all of this resources over time just by taking part in the content in the game. But if you don't spend it and you skip some events, the next time an event comes, you can guarantee yourself you'll get that event completed no matter what. So one of my mistakes was trying to complete every event and not taking breaks in terms of events and not building up resources and just spending everything all over the place. That will just mean you'll never get to complete any events. Another mistake that I made was not taking part in clan bosses. And here's the thing, right? I read a lot online that you should try to get Ultra Nightmare. You should just focus on Ultra Nightmare because that's where you get the best chance of getting Sacred Shards. So for a long time, I just didn't really put much thought into it. And I just went, well, I can't even do Nightmare yet. I'm not going to bother. For like a couple months, I could have farmed even easy chests, normal chests, hard chests. And even though you're not getting sacreds, you're still getting gems, you're getting skill tomes, you're getting ancient and void shards over time, you're getting even potions, which are useful. It's free to do, it costs no energy, just do whatever demon lord you can every day because those rewards add up. And don't be afraid of doing Hydra and Chimera as well. Even this lowly chest here, novice chest, will still get you some very useful resources, right? You can get champion fragments from a Thrala just from the normal chest. The sooner you start that, the better. And your progress over time will build up and you'll get access to these accessory chests. Now, another silly thing is I didn't do Hydra for a long time because I felt like, well, my team's terrible. I don't know enough about it. Doesn't matter. Just throw in any team you can and just go for it, you know, because you get free rewards. And obviously the same can be said for Chimera as well. And finally, my final mistake was just building too many characters. I wanted to try and do a lot of content that I just couldn't quite do. For example, I wanted to do Sand Devil's Necropolis. So what did I do? I built up a level 60 Muck Stalker because there's a strategy where you can use Muck Stalker. And, you know, it was kind of beneficial for a couple stages. But honestly, I don't use Muck Stalker at all right now. I don't. I did the same for Armiger, who can be useful in some areas of content as well, like Spider's Den. But nowadays, I never use him. I've got other champions that are just so much better. And I ended up doing this a couple times. I did it with Paragon. I did it with Renegade, War Maiden, all of these sort of rare champions that a lot of people say can be useful. They can be useful, but if you just kind of give yourself a little bit of time and don't spread yourself too thin, you can end up fully upgrading other characters when you get the resources. Like right now, I've got Underpriest Brogni at level 50. I haven't even fully upgraded him. I've got Taragi the Frog, level 40. Haven't fully upgraded him. You know, I've got a lot of other champions that actually would have ended up being far more useful for my chickens and my food. But now I don't have the resources because I've upgraded a bunch of champions I just don't even need. Right, that's it. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you remember these things, over time, you're going to progress a lot smoother in Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the comments.